This trial here is our low maintenance Kentucky Bluegrass trial. As we mentioned before, we're evaluating them under high maintenance, but we're also evaluating these grasses under low maintenance. This trial was established in 2017, the same year as we did for the NTAP test, and it receives only 1.5 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet per year, doesn't get any supplemental irrigation, doesn't receive any fungicides, and gets mowed with a rotary mower maybe once a week at 2.5 inches if it needs it. If it doesn't need it, it doesn't get mowed. So what you see here are Kentucky Bluegrass entries, and what you'll notice compared to when we evaluate them under high maintenance, you tend to see a little bit more of a sort of yellowish color to the grass. It's because it doesn't have as much nitrogen as the high maintenance trial does. But one of the things that we're looking at for low maintenance is to try to fill in the canopy, and so you're not seeing the ground so much. So if you can have a dense, uniform cover, that's a good thing for low maintenance. So we're looking for like a lawn type grass that can maintain its density and uniformity and have good color, and be able to grow through it without the additional fertility that you normally would require to manage Kentucky Bluegrass. One of the good things about having this virtual field day is I can do it on a day when we actually have some decent things to look at. And the one thing I'll have you look at is my shoe. I have been out here this morning rating stem rust. So you can actually see the rust spores on my shoes. We got this diagnosed at the plant diagnostic lab, and it's stem rust. Right now it is the end of September. So this is about the time when we typically will see that disease coming in on Kentucky Bluegrass, and it will come in more readily on new seedings. But these are relatively old seedings, but we actually have it on almost every trial this year. So what you'll see is some of the grasses actually have an orangey, reddish tinge to them. Some will even have a yellow tinge. So if we come over to this here, sometimes this could be a different species of rust. We can also get crown rust in addition to stem rust on our Kentucky Bluegrasses. So it depends actually. We can actually have both in the same field. But right now what we're evaluating is stem rust. So we're looking for grasses that don't have that, obviously the orange color. And we have some, as you can look through, it's a checkerboard out here of green, orange, yellow, reddish colored grasses, as well as some straw colored grasses. And those are straw colored because they haven't been able to outgrow, the limited fertility that's on this trial. We have not had a lot of rain recently, so there is also a little bit of drought stress in here as well. So again, when we rate low maintenance, we're looking to try to find that grass that can maintain good color, good density, uniformity, no disease, and still maintain a nice quality under that low maintenance condition. The one thing I wanted to mention to you is that the grasses that tend to do well under this type of management are the grasses that are in the shamrock and the Jefferson-Washington group. So the Jefferson-Washington group are perhaps the best ones. They would be like Bolt, Martha, Touche, Jefferson. Those grasses tend to do really nicely under low maintenance. The ones in the shamrock group also tend to do well. So we have some decent grasses that we can use for low maintenance. We also have some that are from Europe that can also tend to do well, but we have to be careful of dollar spot susceptibility on this. We do also see summer patch even at low maintenance. We have some of that in here. If we can find some older summer patch damage. Here we have some right here. So we can see summer patch even at low maintenance, and this is some damage left over from last year, but it is starting to come in now. So that's another thing to consider. But you are going to tend to have a higher amount of the diseases that you typically are going to see under low fertility. So dollar spot, we had some dollar spot in here before. We have stem rust now. So these are all low nitrogen diseases that you're typically going to see with the lack of fertility. So that is what we tend to see it in our low maintenance trial. But when it's dry, you don't get as much of diseases like summer patch. Typically it wouldn't be as bad in here as it would be in a highly maintained, well-watered area. But if we had a lot of rainfall, then that is when you do see the summer patch. So that's why we see some summer patch out here as well. So that wraps up this segment of our low maintenance Kentucky bluegrass test. And hopefully you'll make it out here next year so you can see the plots for yourself. Thanks.